Urgent video for the Harmony One holders, guys. I want to talk about pricing targets. Let's go through the facts. You're down about 6.5%, down to 22 cents. I know a lot of you have serious holdings. Was talking with some individuals today. VIP, I'm not sure if you're trading Harmony One. We kind of started a lot of this channel, guys, on Harmony One. We just really believed in the product. We thought it was a very interesting utility, and we liked the management team. Being they have former employees of Google Maps, etc. So let's talk about the pricing targets that we would come up with now. Guys, let's go ahead, and we haven't focused on it too much, but definitely I believe it's indicated now with this level of pricing. Guys, I have used the Fibonacci pricing tool. I have drawn the macro. What I have done in terms of the strategy, just so you guys understand, and the technique, I have eliminated the prior on the macros, guys, and I'll show you how they're in play in the preceding interval right here. Okay, we have eliminated this previous run up, guys, in 2020, that August 2020 high of about 1.5 cents, guys. We have eliminated that, drawn the Fibonacci tool starting there, and guys, I want to show you the preceding interval here before we really get into the macro targets here. Okay. So while we're retracing, you guys want to know what the best pickup is. If we were to really capitulate and offer some value to you guys, let's just measure that up to the preceding interval. Let's take a look at that based on the preceding interval, right about to the top of that preceding interval. That's where we want to be, guys, right about to the top of this. We want to measure in line with this. I want to show you guys that we hit right at that 50% mark right in here, guys. The 50% retracement, that 1168, okay, was what we capitulated down to. Now we could have hit the 382 or the 236, either the 14 or the 17, at 14.1 or the 17.1. But guys, the level that really stuck and really traded on the guys, that really reversed back up in line with this primary trend line, which we'll talk about in a second, guys, was that 50% retracement. So I feel comfortable with the strategy, guys. I'd like to go ahead and raise that up to the current high, guys. This is on the daily, mind you. On the daily, you'll have differentiation in terms of your price line, etc. Excuse me. Trying to get this out as soon as possible, guys. In terms of the lower time frames, you'll have more differentiation. So just meaning you'll have more variability. You may want to draw these on the hourly on your desktop. That's what I would recommend. So as we look at, guys, look at the current, let's draw this up to the current, okay, the current price levels. I want to show you guys, I really believe that current major level is going to be at that 23.6, guys. The major level is going to be at that 23.6, around that 19.9, okay, that 19.9. The 38.2 is going to provide the 16.42, okay, 16.42, and then we have that 50 again has been raised up to about 13.5, guys, about the 13.5. So, guys, that is those are just levels to be prepared for. I always tell people at each lower level, have enough reserve for a double or triple down entry to be able to accumulate. And I always tell people, only invest in things that you feel comfortable, that you definitely want to accumulate and hold at a heavier position, and definitely accumulate at a value position, which would be a lower level Fibonacci, right? So those would be the levels that I would anticipate would offer some value to you if we can continue, and I'd say continue to retrace, because people are looking for value. I know you guys have been trading. You're one of the strongest trading, I'd say strongest trading groups of any coin that I know, and that's just being very honest, guys, with you. So those are those targets there. I want to bring those up and get a little bit more aggressive now into this zone. Let's go ahead and go to the hourly. If you guys are trading a little bit more aggressively and say, well, okay, London, we want some more aggressive targets, we may not want to wait for that. Now, I have drawn this out, and this has worked phenomenally well, guys. You have made money. If you guys have been watching this channel, you're like, yes, we have, right? It's been good. So I know a lot of people that have done very well in Harmony One. Some of you are now VIPs. If you guys would like to join us, please join, guys. We have back rooms. Shout out to Darlene. I know you are doing well in Harmony One. I was excited about your entry and just your overall success in that. Yeah, so shout out to VIP Darlene, and everybody else who I think Julian also is a VIP. That's our top level of membership. Very excited, guys, about those VIPs, and you guys get backdoor access charts, etc. Let's go ahead and draw. Let's go through some variable analysis here in terms of the pre-existing level high here. We want to draw that and see, well, how is this essentially this demarcated entry point for our Fibonacci's, right? For the low, initiation of that low. We're going to count, guys. Essentially, we're going to count the breakout of the previous channel. I probably have this squared off as a flag. We can adjust that. It's going to slightly lower this, guys, instead of a flat top. I think I was working with some different targets earlier on. We probably would have this. I'll go ahead and do that, guys. Since I'm discussing it, I'll go ahead and do that. I was exploring earlier on whether or not that was an ascending triangle. On a lower time frame, I think it is indicated, but we did have this as a flag formation. So I'll go ahead and be as accurate as possible just for your benefit there. we will draw that right in line, guys, with that breakout of the previous zone. And you can see essentially where it did confirm there on the price line. You'll see that very clearly. We'll be able to see that. Look at this right here, that area right in here. Just that nice little confirmation where we turned the previous level of resistance right into a support, and bam, up and out. Nice move, amazing move, guys. Let's go ahead and measure that just so we can see the price action of Harmony One right then, guys. That was just a rocket, guys. That was 30, what was that, guys? Huge, 35% in a day, like over 35% in a day. That's what I'm talking about, price action. Like Harmony One knows how to get up and go. I've drawn the Fibonacci's at this level. Why, guys? To show you in line with this event, before these were here, guys, before these pricing intervals or this pricing behavior was here, I wanted to see what the levels were that were hit based upon this high, based upon after that 35% rise in price. You guys returned back to the 50% retracement, okay? So while this pricing activity is here right now, I just want you guys to focus on, this interval here and the Fibonacci's as if this pricing weren't here right now. I just want to demonstrate that the 50% was hit. So we looked at the macro, the 50% was hit, guys, on that pre-existing interval. We looked at the micro here. Now, that was on the daily. This is on the hourly. We're looking at the 50% was also hit here. Let's go ahead and look at, once you hit that 50%, what was the percentage by which, guys, you hit that 50%? And look at this, guys. You achieved, in another day and 8 hours, guys, you achieved a 25% rise in price, guys. So that was really a phenomenal entry. Some of you are just looking for value. These are the pricing tools and techniques that you guys can use to achieve that value. If we raise this up, let's go ahead and look at that next interval. When I raise up that Fibonacci level, guys, we're still going to assume the same entry. Just so you guys know, we're going to assume that same entry down at the same level below. Now we're just going to draw up to this interval, and we're going to measure with the Fibonacci retracement the 23.8, 38.2, the 50%, or this golden pocket, which is the 61.8 to the 65th percentile. Then we also do have, guys, always understand the 78.6. I throw in the 86 now. I've researched that quite thoroughly, and I do believe, guys, that's a very, and I know, I'm going to tell you, it's a very strong level. I want you guys to add that to your Fibonacci's. And then we have that complete retracement level, always with enough backup reserve cash, guys, to cover each and every position at a double or triple down basis so that you're never overexposed at a higher price, still able to participate with the upward price action. But let's look at this. In terms of that, essentially, guys, that's your all-time high in that level. Let's go ahead and measure that out, exactly what you did hit. The kind of that secondary, we have a primary, then a secondary price impulse, and that was about, what was that, 26 cents, 26.6. And you guys are looking well beyond $1. I think some estimates 10 to 20. So I know long-term, guys, you have big things in store in terms of your projections, and I am not going to argue with you. How about that? Is that a deal? I'm not going to argue with you at all. I want you guys to trade and make money while you're trading. As we look at this, guys, this was a capitulation down to this golden pocket we always talk about, the 61.8, guys, to the 65th percentile, right to that 27 to the 21. Okay, that was a key feature right in here. Okay, and we streamed that. I brought you that. Actually, I videoed that and brought it to you while you were making it up and out of that level, and I wanted to do that, and it wound up being a phenomenal hit, guys. That was a 20% return on the candlesticks, guys. You got on up into, look at that, guys, up into about to 20 to 25%. I'll say 23 plus, guys, in terms of the price action. It's just had it. So it's definitely had a lot of price action. We're excited about that. Now, the ones who are doing well are the ones who are buying low and selling high, guys. The Fibonacci's are a mechanism by which you can gauge your entries, always with heavy reserve cash, never being overexposed and willing to buy at these lower levels at compound, rates, guys, or compound, let's say levels of entry, a double or a triple down, right? Meaning you would have double or triple the amount of cash at each one of these levels just to cover the upside possibility that one level might fall through like it did here, or levels might fall through as they did here. Many people are flash trading, guys, and they're working by the hour in terms of the, I'm going to say this, they're trading by the hour. Let's say that they're trading by the hour, picking these micro levels up, guys, and trading them along the way down until one really hits. And what they're using, guys, to determine what is the what's going to be the threshold level that really takes off. That may be a question of yours. We would draw essentially a line of resistance here. Make it loud in here for a second. That's okay. I want to make sure I get this video out to you guys. We would draw a line of resistance at each and every one of these, essentially these retracements here. We would want to know when is that line of resistance going to be broken, because that seems to be the key feature, guys. Once that level of resistance, okay, that which the price cannot get up and beyond, okay, essentially, guys, you have your support. I'm assuming you guys guys know this. I know that you do, guys. But you have your support and your resistance, right? Support here. It's going to get loud. Sorry about that. Support and your resistance, right? On your secondary interval, we're going to have your support and your resistance, right? Once that resistance line is broken, guys, that's your key feature in terms of the price action. So right now, I bring that up because right now, guys, we are forming another line of resistance, okay? Once that line of resistance is broken, guys, I would expect some price action. That's going to be the expectations of the traders in the market. I just want to lay out this strategy because I know there are some VIP that are definitely trading Harmony One and that you guys are having a great time doing it. So before it gets really, really loud in here, I'm going to go ahead and cut off. I stopped by a place just to make sure I could film and plug in for you guys, and you guys go get them. This is London with Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. I think they're heading up for some baseball game's going to be on or something like that. If you guys are trading, have fun. If you're watching ball, have fun. Whatever you're doing in life, guys, have a great time. Make sure and always preserve that heavy backup reserve capital, guys. Always able to say that you're never overexposed at a higher price. Never being afraid of the market, and guys, just trade the lights out. Go get this and go hit this and have a good time. We will work on the pattern formation and maybe in a later video in terms of what we're currently forming. I say look at the 4 hourly right now. The one thing I did promise you guys is that we would talk about this trend line, guys. I want to maintain that trend line. There's a secondary trend line below. This is your primary trend line right now, guys. Figure your Fibonacci's into that to that primary trend line right there. Okay, this is a key line of entry all along there. People are waiting with orders. I'm going to tell you they may get left out if Harmony One can get up and get gone. I'm going to tell you that. I would focus on those charting patterns there. In terms of the primary and secondary lines, guys, I'm going to go to the daily on this secondary. That would be your primary. In terms of the secondary, guys, your secondary is going to be right in this zone, okay? I'm going to take this pre-existing trend line here and level of support here so that you guys can see clearly, guys, you have a primary and a secondary. Sorry for the noise in the background, guys. This secondary line of support. So I'd say primary, secondary, and you guys have your fib entries on the both the macro and the micro. So you guys who are making good money, make sure you you put some of that down below. Stack those, make those stacks, and enjoy your trading, guys. This is London with Crypto Kingdom. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye bye.